if he were CEO and he turned in a performance like that? Would any corporation in America, any Fortune 500 corporation in America, keep him on as CEO?
I hope that the people that love him would step in, because I guarantee if that was someone I loved, I'd be up in his ear now. The problem here are those people that are wavering, that are dissatisfied, that are unhappy. Don't say, don't look at that debate. No,
that's not... 911, I'd like to report a political death. As I was watching this unfold last night, I realized this was the plan all along. Why else would they hold this debate? It's so uncharacteristically early. So in case this happened, which they knew it would, so when this happened, at least they would have some time to pull and replace Joe Biden, as nearly every mainstream media head was talking about this morning. It was unbelievable how bad this was. If you didn't watch this, folks, go back and watch till like 9:21 at night when Biden just froze on stage. We here on this network have been saying that this was a problem for a while. They called us conspiracy theorists. They told us these were like, what, cheap fakes. Weird. Turns out we were right again. And the White House, the liberal media, and all the liberal politicos up until like 30 minutes into that debate last night were telling us, oh, Joe Biden's fit as a fiddle. He's ready to climb Everest.
Best Biden ever. Not a close second.
He is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
I can tell you he was sharper than anyone I've spoken to.
The man is 80 years old. He rides a bike.
He has a big vision for our country. He brings the wisdom, the knowledge, the judgment.
I'll take my apology right now on the Russia collusion, the Hunter Biden laptop, the very fine people comment that Biden, despite Snopes of all places, liberal Snopes, finally debunked like a couple weeks ago, and yet Joe Biden still maintained that lie and that was the reason he ran for president. Give me a break. This is why I've said it all the time, that Joe Biden is the only person today that isn't horrified by that debate performance last night. It's so clear that Joe Biden doesn't know where he is or even knows what he's saying. At one point, Trump finally came out and just said it.
And I'm going to continue to move until we get the total ban on the total initiative relative to what we're going to do with more Border Patrol and more asylum officers.
President Trump?
I really don't know what he said at the end of that sentence. I don't think he knows what he said either.
Look, no wonder Biden lied so much last night. So much so that even CNN had some fact checker list off a bunch of things faster than a ludicrous rap song.
He said he's the only president in a while who didn't have any troops dying anywhere in the world. Troops have, of course, died on his watch. He said he's put in a $15 per shot cap on insulin and Medicare. It's a $35 a month cap. He said it's a $200 cap on overall drug spending in Medicare. It's $2,000 a year. He said the border now has fewer crossings than when Trump was in office. That's generally not true. And Biden said the Border Patrol endorsed him. No, its union supported the border bill he'd supported, never endorsed him himself.
Again. Horrible for Joe Biden. Even CNN was fact-checking. And by the way, the insulin thing, that was Trump's initiative in like 2017. Biden had nothing to do with that. And the Border Patrol thing? Oh, I'm endorsed by the Border Patrol. Yeah, they released this tweet in real time. This is the Border Patrol Union. Says, to be clear, we never have and never will endorse Joe Biden. But the fact that Joe Biden said that no troops died on his watch, I mean, my God, this is terrible. I realized Joe Biden was checking his watch during the coming home ceremony and may not remember this because he's old and feeble, but he was directly responsible for killing those 13 service members that died in the Afghan withdrawal. Not to mention, as Trump brought up, the thousands of interpreters that we left behind, many of whom were killed by the Taliban. Americans left behind as well. Or how about the American hostages that were killed by Hamas? But don't worry. The first one we rescued as America was a family member of a buyer of Hunter Biden's art, And Biden tried to hide the fact that he is seemingly fine with abortions even up to the day the baby is born?
And if I'm elected, I'm going to restore Roe v. Wade.
So that means he can take the life of the baby in the 9th month and even after birth, because some states, Democrat run, take it after birth. Again, the former governor of Virginia, put the baby down, then we decide what to do with it. So he's willing to, as we say, rip the baby out of the womb in the 9th month and kill the baby. Nobody wants that to happen, Democrat or Republican. Nobody wants it to happen.
You're lying. That is simply not true.
Oh, really? It's not true? Well, Trump cited Ralph Northam, and Biden denied it. But here it is. You be the judge.
If a mother is in labor, I can tell you exactly what would happen. The infant would be delivered. The infant would be kept comfortable. The infant would be resuscitated if that's what the mother and the family desired. And then a discussion would ensue between the physicians and the mother.
A discussion about a life. And even after seeing this with their own two eyes, this was CNN immediately following that dumpster fire.
Something I was consistently hearing is, what a bad debate in the sense that Donald Trump lied throughout. He misrepresented. He tried to turn away from key points that he should have given answers on and kept deflecting.
Biden stuttered, but he told the truth. He looked terrible, but his policies were good. Trump spoke plainly, but he lied the whole time. And he looked good, but his policies were terrible.
But they didn't point out, they couldn't point out a single lie. They just kept saying Trump was lying, but they didn't give a specific, look, I pointed out Biden's lies. There were tons more. Either they're stupid or they're liars or they think we're stupid. Then Biden, and I don't know if it was in desperation, but he got really weird towards the end. He told Trump that he'd beat him on the golf course.
I got my handicap, which when I was vice president, down to a 6. But by the way, I told you before, I'm happy to play golf if you carry your own bag. Think you can do it?
That's the biggest lie that he's a 6 handicap of all.
I was an 8 handicap.
Yeah.
8.
Never.
But Joe never had a 6 handicap in his life, okay? And yeah, Trump will carry his own bag. You carry yours too, old man. Like everything else. You didn't drive a truck, Joe Biden. You didn't grow up in the black church. You didn't graduate from the top of your class in literally anything. You are not fit to be president. Hell, you're not fit to drive my kids to school in the morning. And you think you're going to be president? But you know what? I say skip the next debate. Just do a round of golf with Trump. That'll be the judge. And now the party that's always screaming democracy after whatever. Any sane person has been saying this for years. And they're saying it after the Democratic primaries. Like, Joe Biden was elected by his own party, elected in the Democratic process. The powers that be are just going to toss him out with the bathwater? No, that's your guy. You sleep in the bed that you made on this one. And I mean, like, who do you want to replace him with? You got a big problem called Kamala Harris that got like less than 1% in her own state. What are you guys going to do with her? You're going to pass over your precious diversity hire? And look, that's going to go over real well with the people that you're just bending the knee to in the social justice movement. Look, Joe Biden was put there to implement a very radical big government socialist police state with one-party rule. Push the absolute limits of what this system can take in an attempt to ensure that Democrats stay in power as long as possible. And Joe Biden was just their fall guy. Forget the debate. You think that guy's running this country? He's not. Who is, though? Who's running the country? That's the question everybody should be asking. And should have been asking probably for the last 3 years, while people were calling me a conspiracy theorist. Well, I'm right again. Imagine that.